You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Coming up, a lightning strike kills a person on Siesta Key. The safety reminders from the Sheriff's Office.
Plus, another chance for you to review some plans for Sarasota's Bayfront. We're going to have a preview of this morning's new meeting.
And your chance to help the less fortunate. We'll tell you about the need for volunteers this summer at Meals on Wheels. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning, 5 o'clock Monday morning. John Scalzi said it was going to pour on Sunday, didn't he?
I know. We had a good soaking yesterday.
Wow.
It was good stuff. Any rain in the future today, John Scalzi?
Oh, yeah, I think so. We had that wind shift that occurred on Sunday, and that brought the storms back to the coastline. And same sort of thing, really, again today. Maybe a few less showers around, but still rain chances are significant, so it'll be another one of those days where we're kind of back into the standard thunderstorm regime, quiet during the morning hours, but then by afternoon showers and thunderstorms build and they drift back to the coast, so everyone gets a chance at seeing some of that much needed rainfall. Of course, accompanied by that will be more thunder and lightning again this afternoon. Quiet right now on radar, and in fact the entire state looking pretty quiet. I don't think there'll be any problems with airport delays this morning, or drive time forecast looks pretty good. Just be aware that when you come home this evening, there will be showers and thunderstorms and some heavy downpours of rain around, just as there was yesterday. A lot of sunshine to greet you this morning as the dawn breaks in an hour or so. We'll be looking at some pretty quiet conditions as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures will again be warm, coming in around 92 degrees or so, with a 50% chance of rain. The complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
All right, John, talk to you again soon. It's now 5:01. Our live camera this morning is stationed at I-75 at University Parkway, near the mall, looking back toward the mall, I believe, on University. And that will be a very busy spot. That's the diverging diamond right there, an $85 million project that they're going to copy again at Fruitville in 75. But we'll check back on that shot throughout the morning here. There's a shot of the roads. Do not be alarmed. US 41 does not turn into a dirt trail there. It is fine. There is some slowdown there at 41 northbound as you approach the State Road 70 and 14th Street West area. Farther south, look at the Bayfront. Some congestion there as you head southbound on 41 from the Sailor and Nurse statue to the 301 intersection. South County map appearing all clear right now at 5:02 on your Monday morning. Our top story, a new safety warning after a fatal lightning strike on Siesta Key. Sheriff deputies were called to an area on Midnight Pass after somebody was struck by lightning about 2:15 p.m. amidst all those storms yesterday. Paramedics jumped in to help, transporting the person to a nearby hospital, but that victim later died. Now, this tragedy happened just hours after county emergency officials issued their own reminders of the do's and don'ts during a lightning storm. They said, don't forget to find a shelter, and the trees and beach pavilions aren't enough. Wait at least half an hour after you hear the last thunderclap before going outside, and don't use electronics, swim, or stand near metal objects that could attract lightning. Also believed to be the result of a lightning strike. Look at this, a small fire gutted a building in Charlotte County yesterday. The Sheriff's Office shared this photo of a maintenance shed at the Rotunda Golf Club. Luckily, nobody was injured. In fact, the course has been closed now for several weeks.
Developing overnight, wildlife officials are trying to figure out who drove through several sea turtle nests on a private beach near Siesta Key. Florida Fish and Wildlife says an ATV or a golf cart rode through multiple nests in that area, leaving tracks in the sand and knocking down some stakes sometime before sunrise on Friday morning. Now, researchers at Mote Marine think that at least 5 nests were damaged in that area. Eric Georgia is among those who are disappointed in that vandalism.
People like to go get outdoors with ATVs, but I don't think the beach is a good place to do it, especially during the turtle nesting season.
Now, Florida Fish and Wildlife hasn't named any suspects so far, but as a reminder, sea turtles, their nests, and any hatchlings are all federally protected, and those responsible could be facing jail time. Now, if you have any information on what happened, you may have seen anything, contact FWC's Wildlife Alert Program or even the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. Well, after months of meetings and brainstorming design plans for the 53 acres along Sarasota's Bayfront, developers and planners will meet yet again with the public to come up with a more finalized plan for the bay.
Marla Spence has a live preview from the Van Wezel. Marla, good morning.
Well, Good morning, guys. Yeah, the Bay Sarasota will be back here at the Van Wezel after its last meeting back in May. They'll be here for what they call as a master plan presentation. Now, there are high hopes that there will be a more finalized plan for the 53 acres of Sarasota's bayfront. During the last meeting in May, there were new plans presented that included the Van Wezel. Not including the Performing Arts Center was a great concern among many here in the community. And we spoke to Gina Ford of the Sasaki Group, which is also the design team for the Bay. At last month's meeting, she told us that there were at least 2 new plans that included the Performing Arts Hall. Nothing, of course, was set in stone back then. There were also questions on what would become of the Van Wezel after being included in those design plans.
The question is really, what can it become then? If the building is part of the legacy and history of this place, how can we adapt it for a future where it maybe does something entirely different for the community?
And hopefully more questions will be answered at today's master plan presentation. People throughout the community will be coming right here to the Van Wezel to hear more on what the Bay Sarasota and also the Sasaki design team has to say in regards to the Bay project. Coming up at 5:30, we're going to be telling you what time those 2 meetings will be held here at the Van Wezel if people want to come out and put in their feedback on this project. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you for the latest on this story. Breaking news plus your forecast. Head over to our app. You can find it under WWSB or My Suncoast. Now to a developing story in Charlotte County. Investigators are trying to figure out what led to a shooting that injured 4 people over the weekend. It happened at a private party about 2:30 a.m. at the Harbor Heights Civic Association on Harbor Drive. Deputies found 4 people with gunshot wounds. All are expected to recover. The sheriff's office is now going over witness testimony in hopes of making arrests.
In California, a deadly standoff in San Diego as police were responding to a domestic call when 2 of the officers were shot. Neighbors were even caught in the crossfire.
There are officers down inside of the apartment building. I copy 2 officers injured.
Those neighbors were rescued by the SWAT team. The entire complex ended up being evacuated as police exchanged fire with the gunman. Now, that suspect was later pronounced dead at the scene. Both officers are expected to make a full recovery. Well, this morning, the family of that teen shot by police in Pittsburgh are speaking out for the first time. Now, it all began with a traffic stop last week. 17-year-old Antoine Rose got out of the car and ran from police who shot him as he was running away. Protests have been going on there all week over that shooting. Yesterday afternoon, hundreds came out to pay their respects at his visitation services. Here's part of what Rose's mother had to say.
I miss my baby. Every time you turn on the TV, it's a young African-American male shot by the police. And you say, I feel sorry for them. To them is me. To them is him.
Now, the car that Antoine was riding in was suspected of being involved in a drive-by shooting. Investigators say 2 guns were later found inside the car, and the teen did have an empty gun clip in his pocket. So far, the shooting has been ruled a homicide. The officer who shot Rose remains under investigation and on administrative leave.
5:08 right now. Right now, a Manatee County food program is looking for thousands of volunteers this summer. Meals on Wheels Plus is doing their summer weekend bags of food service and need people to help pack, sort, and pass out the food.
We deliver meals in 52 different routes across Manatee County. And many of our volunteers leave during the summer, either vacation or they're snowbirds. So we have to fill that void and really could use some volunteers.
If you'd like to help, you can call 747-4655 or go to mysuncoast.com.
Well, over 900 toys were delivered to sick kids at St. Pete Hospital on Sunday, all in honor of one little Bradenton girl. 8-year-old Jordan was born deaf and diagnosed with a rare lung disease late last year at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. Well, one day during her stay, Jordan got a stuffed animal from another anonymous little girl. So, in an effort to pay it forward, Jordan started collecting more toys to donate herself. And when her diagnosis turned bad, she asked her friends and family to substitute flowers with toys at her funeral back in May. So thanks to little Jordan, those toys were brought to the hospital yesterday, and her grandparents hope that those donations will keep coming.
We're going to take something devastating and turn it into something beautiful.
Everybody she met was a friend. She had such a great, outgoing personality, and she touched so many lives in her short 8 years, and we want to continue that.
Now, if you would like to donate, Jordan's grandparents have started a Facebook page. It's called Jordan's Joy. You can get in touch with them as well as donate any toys.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the Trump administration moving forward with plans to reunite hundreds of migrant families at the border. What could be next at the southern border?
And later, snakes and raccoons, bees, noticing more wildlife in your yard, more everything? Why experts say there's been a spike in wildlife seen across the Sunshine State. We'll have that story for you.
Well, we certainly had a nice day on Saturday, and then Sunday, ooh, wet. A day to stay inside and be productive, perhaps. What a day it was, John Scalzi.
I got a lot done in the yard on Sunday, actually, because it just wasn't as hot, which was kind of nice, all that cloud cover around. And then in the afternoon, about 1 o'clock, boom, skies opened up. Same sort of situation again today. That's why I've checked the rain box, not for the morning rains, but for those afternoon showers once again today that'll linger into the evening. Upper 80s, warm and muggy, then this afternoon and into the evening hours. Upper 80s once again, and a few thunderstorms around. Complete forecast in a minute.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, the skies indeed did light up yesterday, and this viewer photo sent in by Dylan John, absolutely amazing shot of a lightning strike hitting the water, and you can just see the glow on the surface where the bolt hits the ground, hits the water actually, and I'm sure he smelled the ozone in the air as the lightning bolt started to produce just an amazingly deafening sound, as it was only about, he says, about 200 yards away from him when it struck out there on Bird Key. Amazing. I think we'll see some more of those lightning bolts popping again this afternoon. Temperatures a little bit cooler than they were last week at this hour, thanks to the fact that we have developed now that east wind, and that east wind kind of keeping us just a little teeny bit drier during the morning hours as it comes in over land and doesn't come in off Gulf waters. East-southeast at about 3. We have 96% relative humidity. Dew point is at 72 as opposed to coming in at about 76. 7 o'clock, 74 degrees or so. Shouldn't be much of a rain problem then. In fact, even by noontime, there shouldn't be too many showers around. We'll put the rain chance at about 20% at that hour. But then as we start increasing our temperatures up into the afternoon to about 92, our rain chance again coming in at about 50%. They'll build inland first along the sea breeze front, and then as we head into the early evening hours, those showers will drift back to the coastline, and everybody gets a chance at some of that cooling rainfall a little bit later on. We hit 92 degrees yesterday, but then we cooled off pretty quickly as those showers moved in. And most everybody got a little bit of rainfall. Right now it's pretty quiet across the peninsula. We've got some showers over on the other coast, but nothing here locally, so the morning commute should be rain-free and pretty comfortable. We have a little bit of residual cloud cover, kind of the debris cloud left over from yesterday's activity, but they are not rain-producing clouds. Futurecast shows a mix of sun and clouds building, and then by the time we get to probably around noontime or so, we start to see a few showers begin to build in inland areas. They become more numerous, and the trend is for those showers to drift back toward the coastline, producing at times some fairly heavy rainfall. Again today, wouldn't be surprised to see some of that ponding of water on roadways. Forecast looks like this. We'll have this afternoon on the waters, a southeast wind switching to the west, coming in at about 10 with that sea breeze, and then back to the southeast during the overnight. Forecast, daytime highs coming in around 92 or so. Again today, 50% chance of showers for today, but then we'll start to reduce rain chances just a little bit as that high pressure ridge kind of moves right over us, lifts north, and we start to dry out the air just a little bit. Rain chances return to that 40% chance as we head into next weekend. So all in all, it looks like a warm, hot week with those afternoon showers that cool us off. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside and check your first alert traffic out there this morning. Already seeing some delays. You can see right at the top of your screen by Ellington if you're heading between 75 and the bridges. If you're heading toward those bridges to come into Bradenton, a lot of delays already this morning, which is pretty early for all that to happen. In Sarasota County, those roads are actually looking pretty decent. Just a little glitch as you come off of 75 on a Clark Road right down there on the bottom. Other than that, not too much to see. A little farther south if you're heading to Port Charlotte or to Punta Gorda or to farther south to Naples. Not too much going on out there, so pretty smooth traffic out there at 518. Well, some new developments this morning out of the nation's capital.
Over the weekend, the president suggested there's no reason for illegal immigrants to see a judge. ABC's Janae Norman covers that and an update on reuniting hundreds of families along the border.
The ongoing battle at the border.
We need people that can help us. We want a merit-based immigration system. We need safety at the border. We need the wall. The wall's going to happen.
The crisis, more than 2,000 kids taken from their parents in just over a month. Spread out across the country, unclear how they'll be reconnected. The president blaming Democrats and suggesting undocumented immigrants should be immediately deported and denied due process, tweeting, "We cannot allow all of these people to invade our country. When somebody comes in, we must immediately, with no judges or court cases, bring them back from where they came."
We need a wall. We need border security.
The Department of Homeland Security now saying more than 500 children are already back with their parents, but still over 2,000 remain separated.
The Trump administration should provide evidence for each and every child who has been reunited.
And as the immigration debate reaches a flashpoint, the Pentagon is now agreeing to build temporary migrant camps on 2 unspecified U.S. military bases. And in Washington, lawmakers are facing an uphill battle as they're set to vote on immigration reform.
Congress has to fix this, and what is bothersome is the president's rhetoric about the Democrats and their unwillingness to have any type of border security or control.
Over the weekend, several Democratic lawmakers toured a border facility, including Senator Elizabeth Warren, who described the conditions she saw as disturbing. Several others say they aren't convinced the administration has any real plans to reunite those separated families. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, a look at the world's tiniest computer, how it makes a single grain of rice look huge by comparison.
That's the rice? Wow.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? That little thing is where our computers are now.
Yeah, wow. Next half hour, why students from Stoneman Douglas High School are making a stop this week in Charlotte County.
According to Golf Digest, 2 of the nation's top golf resorts are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, the Auburn Opelika Marriott at Grand National, and the Renaissance Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa in Birmingham. Plus, the Marriott at Grand National was recognized as Hotel of the Year by Marriott International. Experience luxury and world-class golf Southern style. Visit rtjgolf/resorts or call 800-949-4444 to book your trip to the trail.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
It was so nice to meet so many of you Friday at Friday Fest, your first time there.
My good, that was a huge event, just us and a couple thousand friends.
That's all. But
wow.
I put up about 10 pictures of our time with you. If you go to Ray Collins ABC7 on Facebook, you'll see Stephanie Webb out in the community enjoying herself.
That is right. And if you go to Stephanie Webb, ABC7.com, you'll find an excessive amount of memes.
Memes.
Just lots of memes.
524. Welcome back on your Monday morning.
Well, coming up, it is your last chance to shop where a kid can be a kid. Oh, that was rough. It's coming up fast. The Toys R Us Twitter page says that the iconic stores will shut their doors for good this Friday. Now, stores throughout the country have been liquidating since April. Items are now up to like 50 to 70% off. As of Sunday, the Bradenton Toys R Us location still actually has toys on their shelves, so be sure to check out the last-minute deals while there's still time. Again, Friday, closing the doors. Well, Facebook has a new way to keep track of just how much time you're spending on the site, which could be eye-opening for some of us. Or scary.
Yeah, the story in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, watching your time on Facebook. A hidden feature in the app tells you how much time you spend on the social network and when you've reached a limit you set for yourself.
The feature isn't yet available to users, and Facebook isn't saying if it'll ever be. And Google is offering a new way to use its home assistants.
It's called Continued Conversation. Google says it allows users to have a more natural conversation with their assistants and will save you from having to say, "Hey Google," time after time. Finally, check out what's being called the world's tiniest computer.
Do you see it? It's right there on the right next to a single grain of rice. It was developed at the University of Michigan and can sense temperature changes in small areas. Developers believe it can be used in cancer research and other internal procedures.
That is really tiny.
Yeah, but can I surf online?
Those are your Tech Bites.
Guess not.
What?
Tech Bites, sponsored by Pronamel.
We all want white teeth. You know, doc, how can I get whiter, brighter teeth? And the dentist really has to say, let's take a step back and talk about protecting your enamel. It's important to look after your enamel because it's the foundation for white teeth. I believe dentists will recommend Pronamel Strong and Bright because it's twofold. It strengthens your enamel, but then also it polishes away stains for whiter teeth. So it's really something that's a win-win for both the patient and the dentist.
Bottom line is, moms love that Land of Frost premium sliced meats have no byproducts.
Baloney!
Has joined the call.
Hey, Baloney here.
I thought this was a no byproducts call.
Land of Frost Premium, a slice above. How did we test our Dixie Ultra plates? With 2 pounds of steak in each hand. Dixie Ultra. Stress tested so you can stress less at dinner.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it? Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions. Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
When ABC7 declares a First Alert Weather Day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a First Alert Weather Day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A First Alert Weather Day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Coming up, the Road for Change tour, along with students from Stoneman Douglas High School, is making a stop here on the Suncoast. We'll tell you where.
Plus, we'll have a live report from Sarasota's Bayfront about the next step and plans to redevelop 42 acres, a preview of this morning's meeting that starts in just a few hours.
And Gator versus Gator. That's right. Does it get any more Florida than this video right here? We're going to show you all of this. You have to see this video just to believe it. We have those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
We were driving to dinner on Saturday night and had to stop for a gator.
On Gator? Fight?
Eastern Sarasota. No, a gator crossing the road as slowly as a turtle.
I feel like there's a terrible joke that Ray wants to tell in
we
there.
had to sit there and wait. I took pictures and said I'm up north, but we had to stop for a gator crossing out to Palmer Road the other night.
Only in Florida, folks.
That's
Only
right.
in Florida. All right, any gators in the forecast today, John Scalzi?
Well, there certainly could be some standing water on the roadways. You might see a gator or two doing the backstroke out there this afternoon. We're looking at pretty quiet conditions here locally this morning. Should be no issues weather-wise as you head out to work. But coming back from work again, the atmosphere is very juicy, and we'll get that sea breeze going on. Colliding with an East Coast sea breeze in inland areas where showers will first start. We'll watch the general flow of the air across the state push those showers back to the coast. We have right now a few scattered showers. Excuse me. All choked up about that gator. Leftover debris cloud out there that's not going to produce any rainfall during the morning hours. They're really not going to block the sun either. We'll have plenty of sun around to help boost our temperatures up to, again today, about 92 degrees. 50% chance of showers cooling us off this afternoon. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Try some water, John, there. 301 northbound as you approach Ellenton and I-75. Some early congestion there. Be aware of that. Perhaps avoid 301 and take 75 to get up that way if you have to. There's a live picture of I-75 and University Parkway. Our camera out there showing cars, I believe, coming in toward Lakewood Ranch. Trying to get the perspective there. So we'll watch that morning shot throughout the day here on Good Morning Suncoast. And now to the maps. You'll see that issue there at Ellenton, the top right corner of your screen. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Farther south now in the maps, we'll see some congestion there along the Bayfront on 41 southbound. Otherwise, pretty clear. And then our final map to the south shows all clear at 5:32 on your Monday morning. Happening tonight in Manatee County, a meet and greet for the finalists for principal at Palmview Elementary in Palmetto. The event goes from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Palmview is in northern Manatee County. The three finalists are Deborah Cook, the current assistant principal at Seabreeze Elementary, Tori Hicks, assistant principal at Canaan Elementary, and Kathia Johnson, same position at Palmasola Elementary School. And it might just be a formality, excuse me, at this point, but the Sarasota County School District is taking public input tonight on the street that cuts through the middle of the Sarasota High School campus. The Sarasota City Commission recently voted in favor of extending the time when School Avenue will be shut down for vehicles, pedestrians, and bikers due to safety issues. And starting this fall, it'll now be closed from 6:30 a.m. until 10 p.m. each day when school's in session. So tonight's meeting will be at the school's cafeteria at 6 p.m.
Well, the tug of war over who will pay for school resource officers continues tonight in Palmetto. The City Commission will discuss the contract for school resource officers for the upcoming school year. Now, the Manatee County School District and Sheriff Rick Wells have agreed to try and put a deputy into every school starting in 2019, but are still trying to figure out how to afford SROs in this year's budget. Now, right now, the priority is hiring and training armed guardians with the hope of being able to later hire some of them as full-time deputies if they qualify. In Charlotte County, Stoneman Douglas High School students and others from the March for Our Lives campaign are hosting a voter registration and town hall discussion tomorrow night as part of their Road to Change tour. Organizers are going to start their day in Lashley Park with voter registration from noon to 2 before hosting a town hall at the Punta Gorda United Congregational Church of Christ. That is happening at 5:30. Now, both events are free and they are open to the public. Well, you're going to have several more chances this week to inspect plans for Sarasota's Bayfront. The latest blueprints keep the Van Wezel in it.
Our Marla Spence has a live preview of this morning's meeting at the Van Wezel. Marla, good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. This morning, people throughout the community will be having a chance to come out here to the Van Wezel to take a look at a more finalized plan of the Sarasota's Bayfront. Now, today, during last month's meeting at the Van Wezel, planners, designers, and developers were looking for the community's feedback on plans that included the Performing Arts Hall. Today, the Bay and the Sasaki design team are once again looking for the community's feedback at 2 meetings that'll be happening later on today. At today's meeting, there should be a more finalized plan on the Bay project. Now, if you're interested in the latest updates, you're encouraged to come out to the Van Wezel starting at 8:30 and 11:30 this morning. And if you can't make it today, there will be another one tomorrow at 1:30 at the Sarasota Municipal Auditorium. Reporting live in Sarasota, Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. Now, a developing story in Northern California where firefighters are battling a wildfire that is threatening homes and causing thousands of evacuations. The fire began Saturday night, and so far it's burned over 7,000 acres. 3,000 people have been forced to evacuate their homes. Now, this is about 70 miles north of Napa Valley. Firefighters say more than 12 structures have burned. 600 homes remain threatened. They say the fire is being fueled by winds, low humidity, and high temperatures, and it's burning in a very steep canyon, which makes it harder and harder for fire crews to get to.
Oh, and here we go. Caught on camera. A showdown between 2 alligators and a popka does not end well for one of them. Check this out. Keith Small and his son Langdon. They were driving down Lake Apopka Wildlife Drive when they came across this bizarre scene. Definitely not something you see every day. Gator on gator fighting. And let's just say only one gator won this matchup. I feel like I'm like commentating a UFC line.
Yeah, I think you're enjoying this too much.
I really do. That was just fascinating.
Violent out there.
Oh, crazy. Well, with thousands of people moving here to Florida every year, it's no surprise that wildlife habitats are starting to dwindle. That's why a team from the Agricultural Science Department from University of Florida spent the weekend teaching folks here on the Suncoast how to make their backyards a little more nature-friendly. They added pollinators like bees and butterflies and the right plants. That, of course, can attract more birds and some other wildlife to your yard. The group's goal is to protect Florida's native species, and as one family who attended Saturday tells us, it's the environmentally responsible thing to do.
We have caterpillars.
Yes, we're raising monarchs, and we have other pollinating plants that we want to bring in. We love our bees, our mason bees, our honey bees, you know. So yes, we have a small one. We want to take over the whole backyard, so.
Nice. Well, the groups say they plan to offer similar classes through October. Check out mysuncoast.com. You can find a list of where you can find one of those classes.
And keeping with the wildlife theme now, one of our viewers sent us this video of a dolphin sighting off the coast of Sarasota. 2 dolphins swimming alongside the boat, showing off for those on board and also working. Oh, I love that.
That is amazing.
You can see more pictures like this on our Facebook page and also our news app. Download it right now at the App Store. Search for My Suncoast or WWSB.
Well, one of the most anticipated new attractions is almost ready at Disney World's Hollywood Studios. This Saturday, you can get a preview. You get to become honorary toys in Toy Story Land. That's going to be Disney's new attraction. You get to meet Woody and Buzz Lightyear. That, of course, the whole land is based off the Disney Pixar films. Characters will come to life, and they're going to join you on some of the new attractions like this coaster. You can hop on the Slinky Dog Dash, take a spin on the alien swirling saucers, or even stop by the currently open Toy Story Mania and go for some high-scoring Midway games as well. I so cannot wait to see this. It officially opens June 30th. And get this, Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay was just named number 10 in the USA Today's top 10 amusement parks in the country. Disney didn't even make this list. Is
Why?
that weird?
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's a list of the top 3 chosen based off of Reader's Choice. Third place is Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. Second place, one of my favorites, Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. And then the top dog, another Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, California. No Disney on this list. Isn't that weird?
Interesting feedback.
Maybe it's more coasters. These are Six Flags and Cedar Point are known for like more big, heavy-duty coasters.
Disney being humbled with that one.
I know, right? That's all right. They still get Toy Story Land.
They're not doing too badly. Still ahead, can drinking coffee now be good for your heart?
God, I hope so.
Boy, it changes every week here. How much a new study says you need to drink before it can be effective for your health?
And later, the newest installment in the Jurassic Park franchise to hit theaters over the weekend. We're going to tell you if the sequel made any noise at the box office.
Boy, Sunday was a good day for movies, and also I got a massage on Sunday. Nice day for that. Stay indoors. John Scalzi was busy in his yard before going inside for safety.
I say any day's a nice day for a massage. Jeez. Wow. So we're looking at some increasing chances for fire danger in some counties, but some counties actually got a little bit of a reduction today because of yesterday's rains. Manatee County back down in the low category. Good news there. And the pollen count is also very good. Low today at 2.5. Be low tomorrow as well. And the air quality index, according to Sarasota, is very good as well, coming in at 43. Particulate, the main problem. The forecast coming up in just a few.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Iguanas only reproduce 1 month out of the year.
That's because they suffer from erectile dysfunction.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, what color represents the lowest threat level?
Is Caucasian a color?
Which casino game has the best odds for a payout?
The ATM.
Funny you should ask. Weekdays at 4:30 and 11:30 on ABC 7.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
More amazing viewer photos from yesterday's storms. Jennifer Druso, thank you so much for that shot. And Sarasota storms sent in by Matt Smith, who is our mosquito control director in Sarasota County, also a fantastic weather photographer. Shot that shot as well. Put these on my Facebook page, John Scalzi, ABC7, and there's more there as well. Just amazing lightning show yesterday. Lots of thunder and lightning and some very heavy rainfall. Same sort of situation may develop again this afternoon as we see those storms build inland and drift back to the coast, giving everybody a little bit of break from the heat. Currently with an east-southeast wind, we have a temperature of 73, heat index the same, dew point value at 72. So temperature and dew point pretty close together, but a cooler air temperature compared to where we were last week with that westerly wind flow off Gulf waters just driving the humidity across the region. We had dew points then, yes, last week in the upper 70s. So it's nice to see that kind of easterly flow return, which is typical for this time of year, actually. 74, our air temperature by 7 a.m. By 12 noon, we'll start to think about a rain chance, put in about a 20% chance. Temperature will be about 89 at that point. Lots of sunshine around. As we head into 3 p.m., I think we'll start to hear the rumbles of thunder, the strikes of lightning, and the cooling rains beginning. 92 rather, the air temperature at that point, rapidly dropping into the 80s as those showers become more frequent in number and drift back toward the coastline by 7 p.m. So the forecast across the region, dry right now, and locally I think your morning commute should be just a-okay in terms of weather. On the way home, maybe a few showers around. A little bit of debris cloud left over from yesterday's storms, and the timing of the storms again remains pretty much on track for the afternoon storms to begin probably around noon in inland areas and then drift back toward our coastline as we head into 4 p.m. and a few lingering showers still remaining around 7 o'clock as those showers drift out into the Gulf and eventually just dissipate. We'll watch the boating conditions for today and for the next several days feature this kind of east wind shifting to the south in the afternoon, developing westerly flow as we head into the late afternoon and evening, and the sea breeze builds. Showers and thunderstorms around near the coast during the evening hours as they move out into Gulf waters and dissipate. Winds overnight returning to the southeast. Forecast looks like this. Daytime high today tops out around 92, 50% chance of rain. Inland first, drifting back to the coast. Same thing tomorrow, but perhaps a few less showers for the next several days as we get some slightly drier air in here. And then as we head into the weekend, I think we'll see another wind shift, which will take us back to that flow where we see the morning showers near the coast, and then those showers drift inland in the afternoon. That's kind of the reverse summertime pattern that we get about 30% of the time. That'll happen on both Saturday and Sunday. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside and check some of that first alert traffic. In Manatee County, there's a little bit more red and yellow on the map than we normally see around this time period. Definitely have some delays right there on 41 and 301, and quite a few of those on State Road 70 between 41 and 75, that little stretch. In Sarasota, though, those roads are actually looking pretty decent. One little delay on Clark Road, but not too much in that area. Now, if your commute is going to take you farther south toward Port Charlotte or Punta Gorda in that area, both 75 and 41 are running pretty smooth, so not too bad. 547, that's your first alert traffic. In this hour's Health Smart, does a moderate drinker really have a better chance at fighting off cancer than someone who doesn't drink at all?
As reporter Kim Hutcherson tells us, the answer may surprise you.
They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but a new study suggests a little bit of alcohol may do the same. The data comes from the PLOS Medicine Journal. Not surprisingly, heavy drinkers have the highest risks of death and cancer. But light drinkers, those who limit themselves to 1 to 3 drinks per week, have a lower combined risk of dying or developing cancer than those who never drink. Why? Well, that's still up for debate. Studies on red wine suggest alcohol may have cardioprotective effects that reduce risk of ailments like heart disease. But some scientists say light drinkers tend to be more health conscious anyway, leading to a lower chance of developing heart disease. Both the American Cancer Society and the American Institute for Cancer Research recommend no more than 2 drinks for men and 1 drink for women per day. Be careful, not all drinks are equal. 1 drink can mean 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or 1.5 ounces of hard liquor. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Some good news for coffee lovers. A new study indicates that 4 cups a day, 4, can be good for your heart. New research says that amount of coffee may set into motion a process It helps protect heart cells from damage. The researchers studied the effects of caffeine on a specific protein in cardiovascular cell functions. They found that the equivalent of 4 espresso shots was sufficient to help guard against cell death. Wow.
That's a lot.
They also found that coffee helps the heart to recover after a heart attack. So enjoy that coffee until the next research comes out.
I'm going to run with that.
Yeah.
Literally run with that. All right, welcome back, dinosaurs. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom roared into theaters over the weekend. And no surprise here, #1 at the box office, raking in about $150 million, making it the 4th biggest U.S. opening of the year so far. In second place, of course, Incredibles 2. They followed up their record-breaking opening with a strong second weekend with just over $89 million. Meanwhile, in a distant third place was Ocean's 8. That one brought in $11 million this weekend. Ever heard the phrase, so ugly it's cute? Well, I bet that was used a lot at the annual World's Ugliest Dog competition this weekend. The pageant attracted canines from all over the world, flaunting their imperfections from weird snorts to wonky hairstyles. But this little guy right here, girl I should say, meet Jaja, a 9-year-old English bulldog from Minnesota. She's the winner. Her owner says the win comes from several less than attractive features like her underbite and slightly wonky shoulders and that 18-foot-long tongue.
You're wearing a tie.
Right? Look at that thing. But she says her best friend couldn't be any more beautiful in her eyes. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
It's all subjective.
It is.
That tongue.
All those words that we all say to, you know, when people are like, isn't my dog cute? And you're like, ooh.
Yeah. Hey, any cats?
No.
We'll update the day's top news headlines next. First, here's a peek at Manhattan. Pretty there. It's 67 degrees.
Beautiful out there.
They'll see a high of 80 and plenty of sunshine in our nation's largest city. Those headlines are straight ahead.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
It is 5:54, and here are some of the top stories that we're following for you today on the Suncoast.
Lightning struck and killed a person Sunday afternoon on Siesta Key. It happened about 2:15 p.m. on Midnight Pass Road. No word yet who the victim was.
Plus, it's your chance to shop where a kid can be a kid. The Toys R Us Twitter page says that the stores are going to close their doors for good this Friday. Now, stores throughout the country have been liquidating since April. Items are about 50 to 70% off right now.
And several chances to inspect plans for Sarasota's Bayfront. Master planners from Boston are back this morning to share their latest ideas. In fact, the latest version keeps the Van Wezel intact and lets the city deal with that later.
And coming up in the next hour, how the Department of Homeland Security plans to use military bases to provide shelter and housing for undocumented immigrants. Plus, a new warning to double check your pool toys after a snake is found in one of those pool noodles.
Oh.
Yeah, that's scary. And at 6:30, white staff at Manatee County Animal Services hope that slashing some of those adoption fees are going to help with some of their overcrowding. We have those stories and more. They're all straight ahead. But first, let's get one more check of the weather this hour from meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we've got that pattern reversal that's come our way. We talked about it last week, and we started in on it Sunday, and it'll continue probably for the next 4 days or so. It's a general easterly wind or southeasterly wind that brings us fair skies by morning, but in the afternoon builds storms along our sea breeze front inland and then sends them back to the coastline. Now, when we get these kinds of storms, we can get some pretty big thunderstorms with some gusty winds, as well as some small hail and torrential downpours of rain. So watch for that over the next several afternoons. Warm, sunny, daytime highs topping out because of all the sunshine and the delayed onset of rain showers, top out in the low 90s. We'll have late day showers building inland at first. You'll see those skies darken off to the west, and then those storms move back to the coast as they die out. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Well, it wouldn't stop raining yesterday.
No,
it rained,
I know.
Then it rained some more.
It was good, though. It makes you productive. You're like, oh, it's raining outside. I'm going to get 57 things done that I never spend time inside doing.
I like it. There's no temptation to go outside.
Nope. Staying in.
We'll have more news next hour on Good Morning Suncoast. Good morning.